The sun was setting over the sprawling city of New York, casting a golden glow over the towering skyscrapers. In a small, run-down apartment in Harlem, a young black man named Tyler sat on the edge of his bed, staring at a tattered map of the city. Tyler's life had been a struggle from the very beginning. Born to a single mother who worked multiple jobs just to make ends meet, Tyler had grown up in poverty. He had never known his father, and his mother had done her best to raise him on her own. But despite her efforts, Tyler had always felt like he was missing out. He had big dreams, but he didn't know how to make them a reality. As he gazed at the map, Tyler's mind began to wander. He thought about all the abandoned buildings and vacant lots he had seen in his neighborhood. He thought about the potential they held, the possibilities they presented. And he thought about the wealth that could be generated from renovating and selling those properties. Tyler's eyes narrowed as he focused on a particular area of the map. He had always been fascinated by real estate, and he had spent countless hours reading books and attending seminars on the subject. He knew that with the right knowledge and the right resources, he could make a fortune in the property market. But as he looked around his small apartment, Tyler was reminded of the harsh reality of his situation. He had no money, no connections, and no experience. He was just a poor black man from Harlem, with a dream that seemed impossible to achieve. Feeling defeated, Tyler slumped back onto his bed, the map slipping from his fingers. But as he lay there, something inside of him began to stir. He thought about all the people he had met, all the stories he had heard. He thought about the struggles of his own mother, and the sacrifices she had made for him. And then, like a bolt of lightning, it hit him. Tyler realized that he didn't have to be held back by his circumstances. He didn't have to be defined by his poverty, his lack of education, or his limited resources. He could create his own destiny. He could make his own luck. With newfound determination, Tyler sat up and began to make a plan. He would start by educating himself, by learning everything he could about real estate and property development. He would attend seminars, read books, and network with other professionals in the field. And then, once he had gained the necessary knowledge and skills, Tyler would start small. He would look for abandoned buildings and vacant lots in his neighborhood, and he would work to renovate and sell them. He would use the profits from each sale to fund the next project, gradually building up his portfolio and increasing his wealth. It wouldn't be easy, Tyler knew. There would be setbacks and failures, times when he would doubt himself and his abilities. But he was determined to succeed, to prove to himself and to others that he was capable of achieving greatness. Over the next few months, Tyler worked tirelessly to educate himself and build his business. He spent long hours attending seminars and networking events, and he pored over books and articles on real estate and property development. And then, finally, the day arrived when Tyler was ready to make his move. He had identified a small, abandoned building in his neighborhood, and he had secured a loan from a local bank to fund the renovation. With the help of a few friends and family members, Tyler set to work on the building. They worked tirelessly, day and night, to renovate the property and make it habitable. And then, after months of hard work, the building was finally ready. Tyler put it on the market, and within weeks, he had received multiple offers. He sold the building for a handsome profit, and he used the money to fund his next project. Over the next few years, Tyler's business continued to grow. He renovated and sold property after property, gradually building up his wealth and his reputation. He became known as one of the most successful property developers in Harlem, and people began to take notice. Investors and business partners began to approach Tyler, offering him funding and support for his projects. He was able to take on bigger and more ambitious developments, and his profits soared. And then, one day, Tyler received an offer he couldn't refuse. A major real estate company wanted to partner with him on a massive development project in Harlem. The project would involve renovating a large swath of abandoned buildings and creating a thriving new community. Tyler was hesitant at first, but the more he thought about it, the more he realized that this was an opportunity he couldn't pass up. He agreed to partner with the company, and over the next few years, they worked together to bring the project to life. The result was nothing short of spectacular. The development, which Tyler had named Harlem Heights, became a thriving new community, complete with affordable housing, shops, restaurants, and community facilities. Tyler's success with Harlem Heights catapulted him to national prominence. He became a sought-after speaker on real estate development and urban renewal, and he was featured in numerous publications, including Forbes, Entrepreneur, and the New York Times. As his fame grew, so did his business. Tyler's company, Tyler Realty Group, expanded into new markets, including Chicago, Los Angeles, and Miami. He formed partnerships with other successful developers and investors, and he began to explore new opportunities in the tech and hospitality industries. Despite his success, Tyler never forgot his humble beginnings. He remained committed to giving back to his community, and he established the Tyler Foundation, a nonprofit organization dedicated to providing educational and economic opportunities to young people from disadvantaged backgrounds. Through the foundation, Tyler provided scholarships, mentorship, and job training programs to hundreds of young people. He also invested in community development projects, including the renovation of parks, community centers, and other public spaces. As Tyler looked out over the sprawling cityscape, he felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. He had come a long way from his humble beginnings in Harlem, and he knew that he had made a real difference in the lives of others. But Tyler's story was far from over. As he continued to build his business and give back to his community, he began to set his sights on even bigger goals. He started to explore opportunities in politics and public service, and he began to build a network of influential contacts in Washington, D.C. Tyler's ultimate goal was to become a leader in the national conversation on urban renewal and economic development. He wanted to use his experience and expertise to help shape policy and drive investment in America's cities. As he stood on the rooftop, looking out over the glittering lights of Manhattan, Tyler felt a sense of excitement and anticipation. He knew that the road ahead would be long and challenging, but he was ready for the journey. "I'm just getting started," Tyler said to himself, a smile spreading across his face. "The best is yet to come."